If you've been told your blood sugar is normal, I want you to stop and ask yourself one question. When was that test actually taken? Not because their doctor missed something, but because the foods causing it don't look dangerous at all. No obvious sugar. Today, I'm going to show you 3 foods sitting in almost every American kitchen right now that are quietly pushing your blood sugar higher than you think. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and what to do instead. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to inform you, because that's the difference between a patient who catches this early and one who ends up with a prediabetes diagnosis wondering how it happened. Here's what most people don't realize. Blood sugar problems rarely start with obvious junk food. They start with foods marketed as health, foods that say whole grain, natural, or low fat right on the package. Your body doesn't read labels. It reads glucose low, and some of the most innocent-looking foods spike glucose faster than a candy bar. Let's start with food number 1, white rice, especially instant or minute rice. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rice is a staple. It's in every culture. How can it be bad? It's not that rice is bad. It's that most people don't understand what happens to it once it's stripped down and processed. Here's the science, simply. White rice has had its bran and germ removed. That's the part that contained fiber, the thing that normally slows down digestion. Without it, your body breaks that rice down into glucose almost as fast as if you'd eaten pure table sugar. In fact, on the glycemic index, which measures how quickly a food raises blood sugar, white rice scores around 70 to 90, depending on the type. For comparison, that's close to, and sometimes higher than, a plain donut. And instant rice, that's been pre-cooked and dried, which breaks the starch down even further, so it digests even faster than regular white rice. Here's the part that catches people off guard. This isn't a one-time spike. If white rice is a regular side dish at lunch and dinner, that's 2 blood sugar spikes a day, every day for years. Over time, your pancreas has to work harder and harder to keep up. And that's exactly the pattern I see leading into insulin resistance. And now, food number 3, the one I mentioned would surprise you, flavored yogurt. Plain yogurt, especially plain Greek yogurt, can actually be a great choice. It's got protein, probiotics, and minimal sugar. That's close to what you'd find in a serving of ice cream. But because it's sold in the dairy aisle, next to plain yogurt, wrapped in packaging that says high protein or low fat, people assume it's automatically a smart choice. Here's what makes this one particularly sneaky: the low fat label. When manufacturers strip out fat, they often add sugar back in to improve the taste, because fat is what naturally carries flavor. So a low-fat, flavored yogurt can genuinely have more sugar than a full-fat plain version. This is one of the most common blind spots I see, even in patients who consider themselves label readers. And because yogurt is often eaten as a breakfast or a snack, sometimes on an empty stomach, that sugar hits your bloodstream with very little to slow it down. What I recommend instead: choose plain Greek yogurt or plain regular yogurt. Add your own toppings, a few berries, a small drizzle of honey, some nuts, so you control the sugar, not the manufacturer. Always flip the container and check grams of added sugar, not just total sugar, since some of that is naturally occurring from the dairy itself. Small switch, but over weeks and months, it adds up to a completely different impact on your blood sugar. It's about understanding that fiber, protein, and portion size are what determine how your body responds to a food, not the marketing on the front of the package. The foods that spike blood sugar quietly are almost always missing one of those 3 protective factors. Once you know what to look for, you can make small swaps without turning your whole diet upside down. If you found this helpful, the best thing you can do is share it with someone who thinks their diet is healthy just because the label says so, because that's exactly the mindset that lets this sneak up on people. And if you want me to cover the flip side, foods that actually help stabilize blood sugar, let me know in the comments and I'll make that video next. I'm not here to tell you to fear food. I'm here to help you understand it, because once you understand how your body responds, you're in control, not the other way around. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.